Jeep's Renegade is their smallest and cheapest crossover offering. While it's not their first car like Jeep, it's the first one that has Jeep's off-road credentials being put into a subcompact form. If you're looking for a subcompact crossover with a fun character, the Jeep Renegade certainly deserves a worthy consideration. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Jeep Renegade. Now the Renegade has been in this generation since the 2015 model year. Now not much has changed for 2017 except for that Jeep added a couple more features including xenon headlights. Now I really do love the styling of the Renegade as it retains classic Jeep styling traits such as the 7-bar slot grille, and you also do have some really nice looking wheels too that come with the Renegade here. And if you go for the higher end Trailhawk model, it does spicing up things a little bit too. But overall, it's one of the better looking subcompact crossovers as it's not overdone in terms of styling. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. You have your unlock, your lock, your remote engine start, as well as your panic alarm. Now stepping on inside of the Renegade here, as you can see, it's a pretty stylish looking interior. Not a bad looking interior design from Jeep. And the step-in height is also fairly low too. You do have push button ignition, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start.
Give me a call right now.
And what you're hearing there is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. You have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 9-speed automatic transmission here. And you also do have manual shiftability. When you put the vehicle into reverse, that will display your rear view camera with guidance signs. And you also do have an electronic parking brake located right here. And let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Let's go and check out the exterior of the Renegade. And you have your automatic driver's side window as well as an automatic front passenger window. Heated exterior mirrors with side turn signal indicators. Love the Renegade logo on the side right here. And you also do have alloy wheels with a really unique design to them. Coming up front here, we have halogen headlights. And you also do have fog lights. Now powering the Renegade here is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 180 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 175 pound-feet of torque at 3,900 RPM. Now this is your optional powertrain, but your base powertrain on the Renegade is going to be a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now this 2.4 liter 4-cylinder is available on the limited trim, which is what we have here, and then also the Trailhawk models. But it does produce a decent amount of power with okay fuel efficiency numbers. I would certainly get this powertrain over the base 1.4 liter 4-cylinder. Now competitors of the Renegade, you have the vehicles in the subcompact crossover class. This includes the likes of the Honda HR-V, Chevrolet Trax, Buick Encore, and the upcoming Ford EcoSport. You also do have roof rails on top. And a rear window wiper. EPA estimates 22 city, 31 highway, and ours is a 2-wheel drive version. Total vehicle price for our particular model, $26,115. And you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Interior quality in the Renegade is actually decent. You'll find plenty of soft touch materials inside of here, except for on the upper door panel. It's hard touch plastic right there. But on the armrest and the mid door panel, it's all soft touch and wrapped in leather. And it's really nice, especially on our limited trim. This is all soft touch too. And build quality is not too shabby. Certainly one of the better interiors in terms of quality in the subcompact crossover class. And I think it's one of the most stylish interior designs too, and very unique looking in a good way. Now, I do love the Stairwell Design for the Renegade, and you have your controls for the TFT instrument cluster, which I will get to in just a minute, and you have your Bluetooth phone controls as well as your voice recognition, and then over here you have your cruise control buttons. The Stairwell also does manually tilt and telescope with a pretty good range of adjustment there. And up here you'll also find an auto dimming rear view mirror, as well as your map lights. And down here you'll find your AC controls. You do have automatic climate control with your temperatures on the sides right here. And then you also do have your different zones, as well as your front window defroster, rear window defroster, and your fan speed level. Over here you'll also find a USB charging port, auxiliary input, and a 12-volt power outlet, little storage cubby, and dual cup holders down here. The armrest is also nice and soft touch. And you'll find a pretty good amount of center console storage. I'm pretty surprised about this. And a USB charging port, which comes pretty nifty. Seating comfort in the Renegade is decent, and I love the little logo they put right here. And you have these really nice leather trim seats with the contrast stitching, gives it a more luxurious look, but they're pretty comfortable. Thigh support is excellent, and overall I would certainly take a road trip in this vehicle. Visibility is not too shabby, but you have really wide bases here for the 8 pillars, and it can be a little bit hard to see out of the front windows. Seeing out of the windshield isn't too shabby, but it kind of feels like you're sitting in a brick. And when you get to rearward visibility, it certainly can be a lot better. You have a really small rear quarter window back there. They really need to make that a lot bigger. You have your glove box compartment, and what's pretty cool is that you do have heated seats for the driver and the front passenger, 2-staged, as well as your heated steering wheel. This is also the basic radio head unit from Jeep. You do have AM, FM, as well as XM satellite radio, and then your different media sources do include Bluetooth streaming audio, as well as your USB port with iPod integration and your auxiliary input. And then you also do have your digital clock, your exterior temperature readout, and then different settings that you could change here. But the touchscreen is very responsive, and it's pretty intuitive too once you get the hang of it. And you have your digital clock right up there, and then this is where you'll find your presets. Coming to the gauges and the whole instrument cluster here, it's a really good looking setup here. I love the TFT display. But on the left you do have a little mud around the tachometer here, and I think that's Jeep trying to show off its off-road credentials, but it certainly does make the gauges a little bit more interesting and unique looking. On the left you do have your tachometer, and on the right you'll find your speedometer, and then in the center it'll show all of your vehicle information, such as your direction of travel. It also shows you your fuel economy data, and it's all controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel. You have your tire pressure monitoring, digital speedometer, then screen setup, any messages, as well as your audio sources, your trip information, then your coolant temperature, transmission temperature, oil temperature, battery voltage, all that good stuff. Then you have other settings that you could change, from safety and assistance to security to display. Overall, it's a pretty good looking setup, and I love the graphics and the color behind it. Not too shabby. Now, as far as the way the Renegade drives, now the best part about driving this vehicle is certainly its off-road capabilities. Now, it's nowhere near as good as, say, like a Wrangler or a Jeep Grand Cherokee, but in the subcompact crossover class, it's definitely a lot better than many of the other vehicles in the class, and especially if you do get the Trailhawk model. But the Renegade, I really don't like the 9-speed automatic transmission we have here. It's very unrefined, and it's very unresponsive, and it hesitates to shift a whole lot. It's not the most refined transmission out there, and this is the same transmission you also find in the Jeep Cherokee. It's just not a good one. And the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, while it provides an okay amount of power, it certainly can use a little more. Now, this is the powertrain I would go with, but it certainly needs a little bit more power here, and I would certainly skip the 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the Renegade. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. And you have rear adjustable headrests, as well as dual map pockets in the rear seats, and a 115 volt power outlet back there. Pretty nice. And your map lights are on top. Cargo space isn't too shabby. It's pretty competitive for the class, but at least the rear seats do fold down. And you can also fold this middle part down if you want for cup holders, and a rear center armrest. So with its fun character, its great off-road capabilities, and its stylish exterior and interior design, the 2017 Jeep Renegade is a really good choice for a subcompact crossover. Just be sure to avoid that base powertrain. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.